Like this lecture will be good for all of the homeworks, but it shows you how you should go about doing your homework. And so the first thing we need to do is need to download our homework. And so we can open up our Firefox and we can go out to Florida Online. And we go to Content, and we scroll down to Assignment 1. So one thing we can do is select all the text, then copy it, and then we go in and we can go up to Accessories, and there's our text editor. Yours might be named gedit, but this is named Pluma, which is the most recent version of Mint. And there we go. We've got our homework in here. We can click Save As, and we're going to call this philip.kreger.1.text, which is exactly how you should name yours. Only use your first name and your last name. Save that to my desktop and click Save. Can go back and close Firefox. And the first thing you should do is read everything in here. I'm not going to do that for you, but I'll read some of the key components in here. Notice that you should immediately say this is first name, last name, .1.text. If you don't, you will start off with a 75, and this is like the third time I've warned you. Okay, in the Dropbox file, Dropbox is already out there. The date is listed. And do not use a word processor. Notice that I'm showing you explicitly how to do this. Use a text editor because Windows, or let's say Microsoft Word, will capitalize the first letter of a sentence. So when you're typing in your answer, the first letter will be capitalized. And please don't say, this won't do this to me, because it will, because I've seen it done dozens of times. Remember that Linux is case sensitive and so on. So there's 100 possible points. Everything here can be answered from the videos, the notes, which is your reference text, or the man pages. I want you to get used to doing that. So let's just look at how I would solve a couple of these questions down here. Okay, let's look at number 12. I have a file called homework.doc. And some of you are going to ask, 25% of you, I don't have a file called homework.doc. What do I do? Well, I've shown you how to create files two different ways, either using Touch or using the Nano editor. So that question has already been answered if you've watched the videos. If you haven't, then shame on you. Okay, I have a file called homework.doc in the directory My Files 2011 September. Oh, well, you say, well, I don't have a directory called My Files 2011 September. Well, I've already shown you how to create. So let's go up to, I don't think I've opened a terminal yet. So we're going to open a terminal here. And so what would be the first thing you would need to do? I'm going to create a different directory than this. I'm going to create My Files 2011 or 2012, whatever. So I'm going to do this from right here. Make directory -p My Files, call it 2013 Mint. Who are you? There. Okay, does that exist now? Did that work? Well, we didn't receive an error message, so we know from Linux that it should work. So there's a My Files, right here. So we can go to My Files and just keep hitting tab, because those are the only directories underneath there. Okay, so does it look like that worked? Well, yes, it does. Okay, got a file called homework.doc. So two different ways of creating it. I'm going to create a different one. Touch who are you .doc. Okay, is it in there? Yes. So I've set up the scenario that I need to answer this question. Now I'm creating a video, I'm explaining it, I'm doing it at the same time, and it's taking about 2 minutes. Now imagine how if you'd watched the videos and followed along and practiced, how long it would take you. About 15 seconds to do all that. Okay, I want to move the file homework.doc to the that directory's parent directory. What would be the parent directory of you? Well, that's explained a number of times in the videos. So the parent directory of you is R. What's the parent directory of R? Who. What's the parent directory of who? Mint. What's the parent directory of Mint? 2013. So I want to move who are you .doc there. Is it still in that directory? No. Let's go to the parent directory. Is it in the parent directory? Yes. So I'm going to right click, I selected that text, copy, and go over here. So I copy this, can right click, copy, and now I go up here and I click paste. Look, there's the answer. I mean, not necessarily to this question because I didn't want to give you the exact answer, but I used Mint to do everything. I created the scenario that's indicated in the question, kind of. I've answered the question and I checked my answer and then I copied and pasted that over here. What I find is that a lot of students, if I don't show them exactly how to do this, will come in here and say, move who are you .doc, and we'll mistype something. And that's no more correct than saying 2 plus 2 equals 5. Well, 5 is close to 4. I just accidentally hit the 5 key instead of the 4. It's still a wrong answer. So if you don't have the exact answer, it's wrong. Okay, so then we can save this. So I've saved it, and now I can go back here, and I'm not going to walk you all the way through this, but now I can upload it directly from Mint. Okay, so I needed to show you that to show you how to very efficiently and quickly and correctly do your homework. Make sure you follow all directions and you should have no trouble from now on doing your homework and doing it well.